Another day browsing the 4chans. On my favorite board, poll. And what's this? Shills are still shilling Yang, and there's Yang Gang. Well, here on BuzzFeed News, you can see the following. Andrew Yang wants the support of the pro-Trump internet, thus all the shilling on 4chans. But oh no, now it is threatening to devour him. 4chan is turning against the Yang Gang. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious. And today we have an update on the Andrew Yang situation. After Andrew Yang caught the attention of Reddit and 4chan, his campaign leaned into it. Yes, paid shills like Share Blue pushing this Yang Gang nonsense. Now those same communities are leading a harassment campaign against his deputy chief of staff. So the Yang Gang and all of their forced memes trying to convince everyone to vote for a Democrat who's anti-gun, anti-white, and generally pro-reparations and pro-insane democratic policies, poke the hornet's nest. They messed with 4chans. They messed with infamous hacker 4chan, and they're going to have hell to pay. An obscure Democrat running for president has found an unexpected well of support in the same social media spaces that elevated a new far-right in 2016. But while entrepreneur Andrew Yang has enjoyed a run of surprised, favorable press since he began raising money and generating interest from gamers, internet trolls, an extremely online individual. Let me ask you guys, what exactly is an extremely online individual? I'm sorry, but that's offensive. As a gamer, internet troll, online individual, we do not use this term. We use the term persons of the web. His campaign is now facing an early backlash in the form of leaks, doxing, and an escalating rhetorical battle over who exactly owns the remaining male-dominated corners of social media. So surprise, surprise, cringy Redditors and Bernie bros yanging for a socialist, for more socialist policies because they do not understand what real socialism is. It's wealth redistribution. If you take money from somewhere else and you give it to the poor, yes, that is in fact wealth redistribution. It's a form of welfare, and frankly, the cost would be enormous. And look, if UBI actually got passed, the only thing that would happen is the collapse of the United States because illegal immigration would surge. Democrats do not support closing borders, so a bunch of illegal immigrants and refugees would come to America seeking those benefits, and the whole system would collapse because it doesn't have enough people to pay into it to pay out for benefits. The same thing's happening to Social Security. It is unsustainable. UBI would be insanely unsustainable. Yang, who is running for president on some big ideas about universal basic income and protecting jobs from automation and AI, found his fame and his Yang Gang, his Yang Bangers, in part thanks to a February appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. And this is basically all Joe's fault because, yeah, all this annoying shilling started after he appeared on there and everyone was like, whoa, free money. I can get free money. Money's not free, but these people don't understand economics. His new supporters are attracted to his technology-first political platform, and because they hail largely from the chanter culture, meme swaps of Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, and 4chan, they have plastered social media with pro-Yang content, helping him raise the crucial small contributions needed to qualify for a debate. I'm going to tell you right now, Yang may have supporters from Reddit and Twitter, but he does not have any real supporters from 4chan. Nobody on 4chan is that dumb, and if they are, they're from Reddit. But the meme swamps the Yang Gang calls home harbor all sorts of life. Some of it is far less affable. And the Yang campaign is learning the lesson the hard way. Over the past few days, its deputy chief of staff has become the target of a textbook 4chan harassment campaign. In other words, hacker 4chans, the hero of our story, is attacking back. Getting back at the shills, telling them to get off our boards.
Fucking normies!
She's been doxxed, harassed, and cast as the lead character in the outlandish conspiracy theory about a Jewish plot to manipulate 4chan users into sharing pro-Yang content. Neat hive. Yang gang, 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 gang. And it's true, I mean, I've seen a few anti-Yang threads, and I'm glad they're continuing. There's been significant pushback by hacker 4chan against these invaders. The invaders of the board. They don't belong here. That this is happening as Yang has been out celebrating his new status as a dank meme. Citation needed. Shows just how quickly the chanter culture bear can turn on those who believe they can ride it to victory. Yeah, you shouldn't be surprised. You were 1,000 years too early to face hacker 4chan. His meme magic far exceeds those of any political candidate. You don't tell 4chans what to meme. He tells you what is a dank meme. I do not think there's any danger of the memes counterbalancing the primary message of the campaign, Yang told BuzzFeed News in an interview earlier this week. Yep. He's gonna lose. He's absolutely going to lose. He actually thinks that there's no danger of the memes destroying his message and defeating him. Really, really brave statement. You're basically challenging all of the internet to out-meme you. I wonder how this will end. Because the primary message of the campaign is reaching thousands of people all the time. And again, people are smart. They can tell the difference between reality and a bunch of images that clearly put together to get a laugh. In many ways, the tough lesson the Yang campaign is currently learning is a perfect example of a key and daunting challenge presidential candidates will face in 2020. How do you rally the white, technologically literate, working-class men that supported the Trump campaign without getting mired in the sump of toxicity and radicalization all around them? Yang's campaign has attracted admirers from the far right. Citation needed. White supremacist website The Daily Stormer has written about him. White nationalist leader Richard Spencer has enthusiastically tweeted about him. YouTuber James Alsop, another white nationalist, citation needed, said Yang is the future. 4chan users declared him a savior of the white race for defending American workers. Again, Yang does not care about you. James Alsop is a fool if he actually buys into this Yang gang accelerationalist bullshit. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Styx Hexenhammer, 666, as it were, agrees completely with me.
Which is why I find it funny when people are like, they're angry at Trump because, oh, he hasn't built the wall. He hasn't unilaterally built the wall despite the judiciary and legislature obstructing and opposing him because he doesn't want to get thrown out of office for violating the Constitution, the separation of powers. So we're just going to vote for the Democrats because somehow this makes sense. It's a meme being foisted by Democrats. No, it's definitely ShareBlue doing the Yang thing, absolutely. I've analyzed it enough now to be 100% certain of that. It was started by ShareBlue and David Brock's people or some other similar group. Absolutely.
The Yang Gang stuff is a shill operation by propaganda groups paid directly from the Yang campaign themselves. They're paying for shills to come and make these memes. They've gotten somewhat better at it, but they're still forced, they're still fake. And you shouldn't be fooled. This isn't the first time we've seen this. Anyone remember the Trump election? Do you remember ShareBlue? Do you remember the Hill Dog memes and the Bernie Bros and their memes? I remember. And although our hero 4chan faces many challenges, he faces much shilling and his boards being made a mess. 4chan always has the last laugh. Yang's embrace of 4chan started going south earlier this month, after Yang's Deputy Chief of Staff Carly Riley tweeted, UBI, Universal Basic Income, is feminist. Oh yeah, I bet it is, because it's welfare, and we all know that feminism is about taking money from men to give to poor, oppressed females, so they don't have to work a day in their lives. The remark irked some on 4chan's politically incorrect board. Poll, home to some of the community's most hardcore white nationalists. Citation needed. They lashed out, infiltrated a pro-Yang Discord server, and started leaking screenshots, hoping to destabilize the Yang gang. So what happened next? I think you'll be surprised to find that things were about to get interesting. When a pro-Yang Discord member posted a link to Riley Calendly's calendar and asked supporters to email her, some 4chan trolls snagged it and doxed her, posting her personal information and circulating a rumor that her former employer, Radical Media, was secretly being paid by the campaign to infiltrate 4chan to spread pro-Yang content. That is exactly what is happening. It doesn't matter if it's Radical Media or not. The Yang campaign is paying people to shill the Yang gang. And it's obvious if you actually look at the board and their arguments, because literally every argument they use, it relies on a caricature of what they believe that right-wingers and, just non-leftists are actually like. For example, they keep, a lot of shills keep saying, oh, well, Trump is saying he needs immigrants. How dare he? He's a traitor. I'm not pro-Trump anymore. No, they always leave out important context. Legal immigration. And believe it or not, most of these people who voted for Trump do not give a damn about legal immigration. We're fine with it because it's legal. What we don't like is illegal immigration. Illegal immigrants. Illegal aliens. That's how you can tell it's a shill, because they actually believe like everything they say is from the perspective of what a leftist would really say, and they're claiming to be right-wingers, but really, they are not. This kills the shills. Radical Media Yang 2020. Shills absolutely seething. Please read and bump for exposure. I believe that Yang 2020 is working with Radical Media LLC, a marketing and publicity firm, to shill Yang on 4chan and other websites, to get him into the debates. He's paying for it using the $571,000 he raised in February. The next post will be a graphic of my full findings, followed by more posts breaking down the information down into smaller pieces, and explaining. All information contained within is public social media pages or public figures who are in the public eye. None of this is doxing. Also, do not raid. See, that's the truth, and I find it hilarious. They don't actually post what this Annan is talking about. They don't post the evidence that shills are pushing this Yang Gang bullcrap, because it's true, and they're trying to hide it. While Riley's Twitter mentions have been mostly untouched by trolls, abuse on 4chan is widespread. She's featured in over a dozen huge threads. She's been photoshopped into an approved by Carly Yang 2020 sticker that is covered in swastikas. One user posted a bunch of her childhood photos and wrote, I propose we handle this in proper poll fashion. We print out a photo of young Carly Riley, jizz all over it, and post it to poll with a timestamp. That's actually B culture, but fair enough. A spokesperson for the Yang campaign told BuzzFeed News that the campaign is taking the harassment campaign against Riley seriously. So what is the Yang campaign doing to defeat hacker 4chan and his uprising? The Yang team is now pushing to implement security measures inspired by the behavior of the same internet communities. It is so eagerly embraced is yet another signpost on the polarized political landscape candidates are heading to into 2020. Just last week, Yang was celebrating his popularity among what he described as shy young men that play a lot of video games. Gamers rise up. Gamers rise up and strike down this communist. They see me as someone who understands them, certainly better than most mainstream politicians, he said. I just think there's some kind of affinity because I was a gamer once too. How do you do, fellow kids? Yang is a young gamer just like you. Oh, this guy's cringy. A number of Yang Gang members told BuzzFeed News they were former Trump supporters. Not true. Attracted to Yang's focus on bringing back jobs that they feel are being lost to automation and AI. They also enthused over Yang's universal basic income proposal, a program he's calling the Freedom Dividend. Communism is a proper term. Which would give all U.S. citizens over age of 18 1,000 buckaroos a month. His supporters have nicknamed it Yang Bucks or Neat Bucks, a play on the acronym NEAT, not in education, employment, or training, which is typically used to describe nerdy individuals who have more or less dropped out of society. I am a gamer for life. Yang is our shield. The memes are our sword. Also, subscribe to PewDiePie. Woo! I'm gonna need some chemotherapy because, man, that gave me cancer. And so here we are. This Yang Gang stuff is being shilled and the memes are more advanced, but if you know anything about memology, and I will have to make more content on that because I'm tired of seeing people fooled by obvious propaganda, you would know that the Yang Gang stuff is absolutely paid shilling. Do not fall for it. Socialism never works. And hacker 4chan is not stupid. He will rise again. He will strike down the Yang Gang and his Yang Bangers. He will stop them from implementing communism and destroying the United States. Andrew Yang wants to implement a social credit system, and that is just his first step to subverting the United States and making it just like China, where nobody has rights. 4chan is turning against Yang. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for today, folks. How do you feel about this Andrew Yang? How do you feel about the Yang Gang and their cringy memes? Do you believe that 4chan is truly turning against him? I have to say, Styx agrees with me. I agree with Styx. These are shills, and this whole thing will be really interesting to watch how it plays out. If you want to contribute to the channel, you can do so on Patreon, Subscribestar, or through PayPal. I'm sure there'll be more leaks from their Discords and their organized groups shilling all these memes. But until then, this has been Mr. Obvious. Thank you for watching. See you all next time.